Hi, everyone. My name is RJ Thompson. By day, I am the manager of digital strategy in the health sciences at the University of Pittsburgh, and I'm also the immediate past president of the American Marketing Association's Pittsburgh chapter. Um, I teach digital storytelling in the program, and I had just finished my first iteration of the class, so I'm looking forward to doing it again in 2024. So I was really interested in teaching in the program because primarily the first thing was the reputation of the program. I'm in the higher ed industry, and a lot of my peers and colleagues in marketing and communications have actually gone through the program and have spoken very, very highly about it. And they're working in great positions and doing great work. So I'm always attracted to programs that have innovative curriculum and um, have ambitious students that are producing compelling, high quality work. And I've been teaching at the end of this semester, I'll have concluded my 15th year of teaching. And I'm at the point now where it's really important to me to spend my time with the best students that I can, because they make me a better teacher, but they also make me a better marketer, a better designer, a better creative. And the digital storytelling class was right up my alley. I love being able to tell compelling stories about the people and places where they live, work, play, learn, and ultimately thrive. And also for me, I'm deeply interested in visual rhetoric and being and using storytelling and imagery to convince people to do something that I want them to do without even telling them what I want them to do. So it's a fantastic puzzle, and I love sharing that experience with the students. So being able to walk the walk and talk the talk is really important to me. I've When I was in school, I had a very practice based faculty, and I found that when I entered into the field, into my career, having those grounded practical applications really informed the work that I did and the quality of it. And I was able to get better jobs, quicker promotion, better outcomes. And so it's all tethered together. So for my classes, I put a strong emphasis on the practical. That doesn't mean that the philosophical, the principle goes away. If anything, you inject and integrate those areas of interest into your practical work. But at the end of the day, it's about the work that you're producing, and it's about the portfolio essentially, and making a name for yourself through the work that you produce. So I bring in real world work by way of real world clients. There is no shortage of prospective clients out there in the world that need our students' help from a wide variety of areas. And in fact, some of our students will forget more than some of our clients will ever know about marketing and communications. Um, so being able to bring in clients for students to do consulting with, or do one-off small projects is important. But one thing that I initiated in my inaugural class was having students submit their work to competitions. And I'm a huge believer in peer review and competitive work in the profession, not so, and of course in academia, but for our students in the profession. I want my students to be able to submit their work to some of the top known publications, industry publications, and competitions, and so that they can win and get that on their resume, and it becomes a part of their reputation and their calling card. And in the first iteration of my digital storytelling class, I had students submit work to a competition through the American Marketing Association's Pittsburgh chapter called AdFlux. And we actually had a student place in the top 3 in one of the 12 categories. And it was really exciting to see that happen. But I also worked with the students one-on-one to help them refine their work so that it could be competitive. And so that was a really rewarding experience for all involved. And the other part I'll say to that is through that experience, I developed some great relationships with students. I still have them emailing me. And it's cool. It's like I've never met them in person. They live in different parts of the world or different parts of the country, but they're still reaching out to me asking for feedback and advice. And, you know, if you ever take one of my classes, I'll be happy to support you well beyond the term limit of the class. So that's one way I introduce real world work into the classroom. So the class that I teach, similar to the rest of the program, it's asynchronous online, and you know, for the students that can leave something to be desired in terms of engagement with the faculty. Um, I am definitely a no barriers type of teacher. So, you know, I give students my cell number. You can call, you can text, you can connect with me on Zoom. One of the things that I make available to the students is like a Friday lunchtime connect session where you can just jump on the call and we can talk about anything. Doesn't even have to be about the class or the assignment. It could, maybe you had a bad day at work and you want to complain about the industry or you want to boast about some awesome project that you did. I want to hear that. That reinforces the work that myself and my faculty peers are doing, and it reinforces the core tenets of the program and ultimately the successes. So I love being able to connect with people on that deeper level, but also through that experience, just simple conversation, I'm able to find opportunities for our students to connect with people in my network or find new positions or internships. And that's always incredibly rewarding to help people either start their career or restart it or refine it. And a lot of it just comes through being available, willing to be able to chat. When I was an undergraduate, oh man. Okay, so um when I was an undergraduate, my design professors, you know, similar to other faculty at other schools, they've pretty much designed everything under the sun. You name it, they've made it. Except they've my particular mentor never designed a manhole cover. A sewer cover, a circular sewer cover that would go into a street. Um, that was kind of my white whale. Like, I know I've made it, like the imposter syndrome would go away if I were ever able to design a manhole cover. And about 2 years ago, I rebranded the city of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, and they actually took my logo and pressed it into metal, and made several dozen manhole covers. So now when I go to Hermitage, I'm going down the main highway to the entrance of the community. I see my branding and everything. I always make sure to pull off to the side of the road to get a picture of me standing on my manhole cover. And what's really, really funny about this is that I sent it to him. And you feel free to bleep me here, but he's like, "You son of a," he's like, "You finally did it." I'm extremely proud of that project just because it's so unique. But the other main project that I really should be the most proud of, that certainly had the most impact, was rebranding the city of Youngstown, Ohio. That led to, not only was that a massive 5 year long project, but it brought in over $250,000 in grants, money that I managed, that I was able to really create a branded communications platform for the city so that it could revitalize its community engagement, its economic redevelopment, and so many more things. Ultimately, this led to an award recognition from the governor of Ohio, particularly Ohio, one of Ohio's highest honors in the arts. Um, and mine was in community engagement. So I'm extremely proud of that. And that really set the tone for the next phases of my career.